Okay, so we've got a pretty interesting stack of excerpts here from Harvard Business Review's Experience, Opportunity, and Developing Your Career.
Yeah, it looks like someone's ready to ditch the whole climb the ladder thing and figure out what they really want out of their career.
Totally. It's not your grandparents' career landscape anymore.
Right.
Like that whole one job for life thing, ancient history.
So how do we even begin to navigate this new world, where it's less about following a set path and more about, like, designing your own adventure?
Well, that's what's so interesting about this first article. It really zeroes in on something a lot of people miss. It's about knowing the difference between a job and a career.
Yeah, it's like, just because you go on a date with someone.
Doesn't mean
You're going to marry them.
Exactly.
Not every job has to be the one.
So true.
A job can just be a way to, like, pay the bills while you're figuring things out, or maybe building some skills, or even
Supporting yourself while you pursue a totally different passion.
exactly. It's when you put all that pressure on every job, like it has to be your dream career, that you end up, well, burnt out, totally burnt out.
And speaking of building something sustainable, these articles talk a lot about creating a strong career foundation.
Yes. And they break it down into these three core elements. Yeah, aspirations, skills, and reflection.
What really clicked for me was, like, it's not enough to just say you want to be a CEO someday.
You need a plan.
You have to back it up.
It's about connecting those big aspirations with actual tangible skills.
Yeah, what would make you a good CEO, right? What are you doing right now to build those skills?
exactly.
Are you practicing leadership? Problem solving? What about financial management?
It's like you're creating a thesis statement for your career.
I love that.
I want to be CEO because...
And then you have to back it up with evidence.
Yes, evidence from your actual experience.
And just like any good thesis, it needs constant revision. Right. Reflection.
Oh, that's so important.
Are the skills you're building actually taking you closer to that CEO goal? Or are you getting, distracted by things that look good on a resume, but
Don't really light you up inside.
exactly. Which brings us to another huge theme in these articles: values, passion, and purpose.
Okay, so we got the what of our career. Now we need the...
The why. And they give this great example.
Was it Val?
Yes. Val realized her top value at work was freedom.
Not just freedom, though, right? She specifically wanted freedom from micromanagement.
Which is huge.
It completely changed how she approached her job search.
Right. She was like, okay, no more applying to places that are known for being, like, super controlling.
Exactly. She got clear on her non-negotiables.
It's about knowing what you don't want just as much as knowing what you do.
Yes. What makes you feel energized versus drained?
Once you know that, you can be so much more intentional about the opportunities you pursue. It's kind of like, that saying, don't just find a job you love, find a job you can love yourself in.
Oh, like that.
But even knowing your values, that's just like one piece of the puzzle. These articles also talk about passion.
Right. And it's not just about, finding a job that's fun all the time.
Yeah, fun can be fleeting.
It's about finding that thing that truly energizes you. That puts you in that flow state.
So it's got to be more than just fun. It's got to be something deeper.
Definitely. And they tell this great story.
Is it Paola?
Yeah, Hera. She was all about making the outdoors accessible to people with disabilities.
Right. And how she was able to connect that with her love of nature.
Exactly. That's her passion, making those outdoor spaces inclusive. Yeah. It led her to this whole career focused on accessibility in national parks.
That's amazing. Okay, so how does this all tie into the idea of a career portfolio? Because that really jumped out at me from these articles.
Yeah, it's a big shift from that, old school career ladder mentality.
Right, like climbing the ranks in a single company.
Exactly. You started as an assistant. Yeah, and maybe you became the CEO 30 years later.
If you were lucky. And didn't get downsized or, like, jump ship along the way.
Exactly. But now it's way more common to have multiple jobs, even multiple careers throughout your life.
So a career portfolio helps you make sense of all that, right?
Yes, like instead of just listing your past job titles, you're telling a story.
Okay, so it's more than just a resume.
Way more. It's about the skills and knowledge you
Gained along the way.
And the connections between those experiences.
Exactly. So like, let's say you were a software engineer for a few years, then you traveled the world, and now you're a freelance writer.
Okay, so on paper, that looks kind of random.
Right, but if you dig deeper, you can
See the threads connecting it all.
exactly. That engineering background taught you how to think systematically, how to solve problems. Your travels hone your communication skills.
And now you can combine all of that as a writer.
Exactly. You can create compelling content, maybe even for a global audience.
It's like you're giving potential employers a window into like how your brain works.
Totally. You're showing them you're not afraid to take risks, you're constantly learning, and you bring a
Totally unique perspective.
Which is valuable.
And these articles give some great advice on how to actually articulate that value.
Yeah, they talk about crafting a selling statement.
It's like, what's your superpower? What are you amazing at?
What problems can you solve?
How can you help them?
Right. It's like an elevator pitch for your entire career.
I love that. An elevator pitch. So good.
But even with an amazing portfolio and a killer pitch, actually, like, navigating the job market is tough.
Oh, tell me about it.
One of the articles had some really good advice on, like, decoding job offers.
Oh, yeah, that's key. Because it's so easy to get caught up in the excitement, right? Especially if you've been, like, pounding the pavement, sending out resumes.
Totally. And then that offer comes in, and it's like, yes, finally. But these articles are saying, pump the brakes.
Yeah, don't just sign on the dotted line without, reading the fine print.
Okay, so what are the big things we should be looking out for? What's the first red flag?
They really emphasized validating the job description.
Okay, so, like, don't be afraid to ask questions.
So many questions. Yeah, because a job title can sound super impressive.
Right, like marketing ninja rock star.
But what are you actually doing all day?
Yeah. Are you writing blog posts? Are you, like, cold calling people?
Exactly. Yeah, talk to people who are actually in that role. Read company reviews. Do your research. Don't wait until you're like 3 months in and miserable to figure out it's not what you thought it was.
Okay, so red flag number 2.
Company culture.
This is huge. I mean, I think we've all learned this the hard way.
Oh, yeah. A dream job with the wrong company.
The culture is a nightmare.
Exactly. But how can you really get a sense of a company's culture, like from the outside looking in?
It's tough. Pay attention to the little things. Like, how are people interacting in the office? Do they seem happy? Stressed? Is it like super uptight? Yeah. Or is it more laid back? Do they value work-life balance?
Trust your gut on this one.
The gut is usually right.
Okay.
Okay, number 3. Hit me. Salary and benefits.
Oh, yeah. The money stuff, always awkward.
But so important. Knowing your worth is key.
Yes. Do your research.
Don't be afraid to ask for what you deserve.
Because you have valuable skill.
Exactly. Years of experience.
And let's be honest, you're probably pretty awesome to work with.
You bring a lot to the table. And remember, it's not just about the salary. Benefits matter too.
Oh, absolutely.
Healthcare, paid time off, retirement plan, all that jazz. It's part of advocating for yourself, which I know can be a little uncomfortable. Yeah, especially at first. But honestly, the more you do it,
The easier it gets.
and you might even kind of enjoy it. It's like, yeah, I know my worth. All right, what's next on our list? Background check.
Wait, like they check up on us. Shouldn't we be checking up on them?
That's exactly what they're saying.
Okay, so turn the tables.
Exactly. Check out their financials. Look for any scandals.
Glassdoor reviews.
Read those Glassdoor reviews. Look up the hiring manager on LinkedIn. See what their deal is.
It's like due diligence, but for your career.
Exactly. You wouldn't just marry someone without, checking them out a little bit.
True. Okay, last but not least.
Don't forget
To discuss your professional development goals.
Oh, yeah. You're not just looking for a job. You're looking for a place where you
Can grow, evolve, become a better version of yourself. So find out what kind of opportunities they offer.
training, mentorship.
Maybe there's even a chance to move up within the company.
So it's like they're saying, we're invested in your growth too.
Exactly. Okay, now this next idea, I love this, building a career board of directors.
Oh, yeah. Like your own personal dream team of advisors.
Exactly. Think about it. What areas of your career could you use some guidance on?
Okay, so like if you're trying to,
Switch careers. Or maybe you're thinking about,
starting your own business.
or you just need a raise.
yes. Once you know what you need help with, you can start brainstorming people who might be able to offer some advice.
So this could be former bosses, mentors.
Colleagues, friends, family members, anyone you admire professionally. And don't be shy. Reach out to people even if you don't know them super well.
You never know.
Exactly. And then once you've assembled your dream team,
It's all about communication, right?
be open, share your goals, ask for advice, and don't be afraid to be a little vulnerable.
It's like having this built-in support system just for your career.
And they can offer different perspectives. Challenge your assumptions. Totally. They can help you see things
A
from.
whole new angle.
Like a personal brainstorming session.
And then, of course, there's networking, which kind of brings us to the elephant in the room.
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn. It's like this weird mix of opportunity and desperation, a little bit. But One of these articles had some good tips for using it effectively.
Okay, because we've all gotten those spammy connection requests, right?
Oh, yeah, I'd love to connect with no context.
Like, did you even look at my profile?
Exactly. So they're saying personalize your messages. Make it about them. Yes.
Yeah.
What specifically about their work resonates with you?
It's like dating. You've got to up your game.
Totally. Put in a little effort. And if you're asking for something,
An informational interview.
Be upfront about it.
I'd love to pick your brain about
X.
And let them know what you bring to the table.
Yeah.
Exactly. Make it a win-win. Now, I know we've covered a lot today, but there's one more thing I wanted to touch on. This whole idea of imposter syndrome.
Oh, gosh. Don't even get me started.
You struggle with it too.
All the time.
Yeah, like, wait, I'm not actually qualified for any of this, am I?
You're not alone. It's so common, especially when you're surrounded by high achievers.
Or when you feel like you're constantly, like, faking it till you make it.
They had some good tips for dealing with it, like journaling.
Journaling to, like, remind yourself of your accomplishment.
Exactly. It's so easy to focus on the negative, right?
Yeah.
But what about all those wins?
Big and small.
Write them down. Celebrate them. It really can shift your perspective.
It's like creating your own personal hype file. Exactly. And don't be afraid to lean on your support system. Surround yourself with people who believe in you. Because honestly, building a career, it's a marathon, not a sprint.
That is so true.
There are going to be times when you feel like giving up, like you're lost or stuck.
But those are the moments that make us stronger, right?
Exactly. It's all part of the journey. And those detours, they often lead to the most incredible destinations.
Love that.
So as you think about all of this, and you're starting to envision your own career path, which, by the way,
It doesn't have to be linear.
exactly, it can twist and turn. Remember, there's no one right way to do this.
You get to design your own adventure.
Exactly. And who knows, that new skill you learn today could unlock a whole new passion tomorrow. So stay curious, stay open to new possibilities, and most importantly, don't be afraid to bet on yourself. Yes, because you are capable of amazing things.